Hello, I'm Alex. In the past, I have showed many videos regarding pressure point massages for knee pain, headache, stomach pain, and so on. So lately, I have been asked this question. Alex, how come all the pressure points that you showed have such weird names, such as leg-free miles, fish border, inner gate, etc.? So I think this is a really interesting topic. So today, I would like to share with you the meaning of the names of the pressure points. Before we get into today's main topic, let's first review what are meridians and pressure points. There are 14 main meridians in our bodies, and meridians are energy channels that the qi or life force circulates. 12 of the main meridians are related to an internal organ. So there are the lung meridian, heart meridian, kidney meridian, and so on. Adding the ren and the du meridian, together we have the 14 main meridians. Pressure points or acupoints are specific points along the meridian, and each of the points have its own specific properties and healing effects. Therefore, stimulating these points by either cupping, acupuncture, or massage, it can help to restore the balance of the body, restore the flow of the qi, and therefore having a healing effect. There are two ways to name pressure points. The first one is the numbering system. So for example, the lung meridian has 11 pressure points, from here all the way to the finger. So when we name them, we name that as lung 1, lung number 2, lung number 3, all the way to lung number 11. The second way, which is the traditional way, every pressure point has its own name. For example, lung number 1 is called middle assembly, lung number 2 is called the cloud gate, and so on. So although this seems to be weird, but actually every name has its own meaning. There are over 400 standard pressure points in our body, and I definitely couldn't explain all of them today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to categorize them into 4 main groups: nature, human body, objects, and others. And I'm going to give out a couple examples of each of them. And I think that today's purpose is just to appreciate how people in the past named these pressure points. And of course, it might still seem weird because I'm just literally translating it. And if you're using Chinese language, it is going to be much more poetic and beautiful. So now let's get right into it. The first category is nature. In Chinese medicine, we talk a lot about conforming to nature because nature is so powerful and it affects our health a lot. So a lot of pressure points are actually named after natures. So in this category, we actually have a couple subcategories. That is astronomical, geographical, and animals and plants. Astronomical. Imagine that we're living in the past without all the light pollution that we have in the city today. So just looking up the sky, we see thousands and thousands of stars. And therefore, all ancient civilizations have developed great knowledge in astronomy. Some pressure point examples that are named after that are the sun and moon and upper stars. And another example is the celestial pivot and jade rotator, which are the Chinese names of some of the stars from the Big Dipper. Geographical. There are many pressure points that are named after natural geographic scenery such as mountains, hill, sea, stream, spring, pond, and so on. So one example is bend at the pond. So when we bend the elbow to 90 degrees, we can find that there's a hollow point right here, like a pond. So this pressure point is great for lowering the blood pressure and is also great at treating tennis elbows. Animals and plants. So for this subcategory, we have to use a little bit of imagination. So for example, fish border, this pressure point is right here. However, this location, this area looks like a fish belly. So this pressure point is called the fish border. Another example is crouching rabbit. So whenever we kneel down, our quads actually looks like a crouching rabbit. For plants, we have the bamboo gathering. So first of all, imagine all our eyebrows are bamboos. And when we frown, all the bamboos are being focused and concentrated on this area. So this pressure point right here is called the bamboo gathering. So these are the examples of the nature category. The second category is the human body. There are some pressure points that are named after the human anatomy, such as the wrist bone or the spine center at the back. There are also some pressure points that are named after meridians, such as the 3 yin intersection. So that is named because it is the intersection point of 3 yin meridians, such as the kidney meridian, liver meridian, and the spleen meridian. It is one of the most important points of the body because it is really great in terms of solving digestive issues, emotional conditions, and gynecology problems. The next category are objects. So some are related to the everyday tools that we use and some are related to architecture. So for example, in a wealthier family in the past, when we walk in their door, after that we can see a pond. And when we walk in, then we'll see the mansion. And that is how the 3 wind pressure points are. So same as in the back, we have the wind door, and then we have the wind pool, and at last we have the wind mansion. The last category is others. Now I can subdivide that into numerous types, but I'm just going to give up 2 examples. The first one is related to treatment effects, such as bright light. Obviously that is related to the eye, and by doing this pressure point we can help to improve eye pain, blurred vision, or night blindness. Another example is that it is related to 5 elements, such as the pressure point Shang Yang. Shang is actually one of the musical sounds in traditional Chinese music. And in traditional Chinese music, we have 5 different sounds, and Shang is the metal element. And metal element in Chinese medicine, there are 2 different types of organs, large intestine and lungs. And while lung is yin, large intestine is yang, and this pressure point is called Shang Yang. So therefore, that is the first pressure point of the large intestine meridian. And that is how we name pressure points the traditional way. And of course, there are so many other pressure points I want to share, but didn't have the time to do so today. But hopefully that we all know that every name has a meaning and you find this interesting. Thank you so much for watching today. If you have any questions, leave in the comment section below. Stay healthy and I will see you next week.